Muy valioso. My friends, we know that we cannot abandon some and help only others. We must see the face of God in every human being. Whenever we celebrate the dignity of human life, I am reminded particularly of the intellectually disabled, who, whatever their disability, have an infinite capacity to love and to be loved. I am also reminded of those who have served them so well. Sergeant and Eunice Shriver, who founded Special Olympics, which will be here in the World Games in Los Angeles this summer. Jean Vanier, who founded the Ark, known in French as l'Arche, and Mother Teresa and St. John Paul II, who devoted so much to promoting the human dignity of every human life, especially the intellectually disabled. And I've been inspired and blessed to know each of them. I also remember in a special way my very good friend Dr. Jerome Lejeune, who discovered trisomy 21, the condition that causes Down syndrome. He was a great scientist and a strong defender of the dignity of every human life. He was also a man willing to defend the right to life, even when he knew it could cost him the Nobel Prize for Medicine. Dr. Lejeune had a special place in his heart for those with Down syndrome, supporting them directly and through his witness to the civilization of love. We are all called to be citizens of the civilization of love. We are called to be a people with a heart that sees where love is needed and who act accordingly. And this is what we always must remember about the intellectually disabled. Their hearts are not disabled. They see where love is needed, and they act accordingly. This is something the family...
Our son Noah, our 4-year-old son Noah, and to sum up what Mr. Anderson said about me, I basically spend my entire day playing around on the internet. So for those of you who tweet and Instagram and pin and do all that stuff, be encouraged, because you may be able to make it into a career one day. But in all seriousness, I hope that what we do on the internet is much more than simply play around. What I want to do in just a few minutes that we have together with you is I want to share a little bit about our story, and then I want to give you some very tangible ways that you can make a difference for the cause of pro-life. So about 4 years ago, we were surprised to learn just a few hours after our son was born that he was diagnosed with Down syndrome. And I'll never forget that moment where our friend, who's a pediatrician, came and she told us that Noah was born with Down syndrome. The next day, our OBGYN came in. And I'll never forget her words. Her first words to us about Noah's birth was not congratulations, it was, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." You know, our OBGYN, she might have been sorry, but we weren't. Because we knew that Psalm 139 tells us that God has created every single person on this planet. You, me, Noah, the millions of babies in the wombs, that God knitted those babies together with a purpose and a plan. And so tragically we learned this. We learned that our OBGYN's response of being sorry, that was the response of the whole world. In fact, we learned that, depending on what study you read, that up to 92% of children like Noah are aborted. Okay, let that statistic sink into your brain for a second. Every time you see one Noah, there's 9 Noahs that you do not see today because they've been aborted. Okay, and so once you know something like that, once you have that kind of information, you have to do something about it. And so we decided to do something about it. We began to pray, and we began to say, God, would you use our little boy to do something great, far greater than we could even do. And so we didn't know how God would do that, but we just prayed. And we knew this. We knew that a lot of people that were making a choice to abort a child, that they were fearful. And fear makes people do some really, really bad things. And so we took our iPhones and we began to record Noah's life 60 seconds a day, every single day. And we put that on a website called noahsdad.com. We also created a Facebook, a Twitter account, a Pinterest page, and everything else that goes with it. And we just began to tell his story. And so what happened was, I wish I could have time to tell you all of the amazing stories that have come out of this little boy's life, but his website now reaches millions of people across the planet for the purpose of life. And his website is helping people come out of fear and into light and have their babies. So I don't have time to tell you all of the awesome stories, but I do have time to tell you something. I want to tell you this. I want to tell you quickly a couple of things that you can do, that you personally can do to make a difference for the cause of life after today. Number one is this, to recognize that each of you have a story. The fact that you're here today on a Saturday means this, that you have a story to tell, that you're passionate in the fight for life just like we are. And so you've got to begin to tell your story. That's number two. Tell your story. Stories only have power when they are told. So don't waste your story by not sharing it. I mean, you may go, hey, I don't know how to blog, or I get really nervous standing on a stage talking in front of a lot of people. Well, guess what? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. For you, you might write a book. You might take your next door neighbor to coffee. You might go work at a pregnancy crisis center. But you need to get out there and do something. You need to tell your story. You need to love on people. Stories have power. I want to tell you one quick one. There was a lady in our church who she recently found out that one of her children in the womb was going to be born with some complications. And so she contemplated abortion. She came to our church and she was honest and she goes, hey, I think we're going to abort this baby. And so we said, hey, can we connect you with some people that have stories? Can we connect you with some people that would love on you? And they said yes. And so
of our most innocent brothers and sisters, those being formed in the secret places of their mother's womb. A couple of years ago, I was invited to an event for the Right to Life League of Southern California, another great organization. They're here today. That's where I met for the first time Eduardo Verastige. Okay, so I had the same reaction, okay? I had the same reaction. Actually, when I first saw Eduardo, I thought to myself, who is that handsome pro-life man? And I followed him through the crowd at that event. Well, me and every other woman that was there, we were like, I just want to meet him and get my picture taken with him because we're both pro-life. And, you know, he's... He leaves you speechless. So now I know Eduardo Verastige. Did I say that right? Verastige. I was lucky I could even attempt it after looking at him. He's a renowned actor, model, and a singer. He's enjoyed a very successful music career before going on to star in telenovelas. He's played leading roles in feature films including Bella, Chasing Pappy, and most recently Little Boy. He's co-founder of Matonia, a film production company. He's also founder of Manto de Guadalupe, a pregnancy clinic in Los Angeles. You know of it, of course. He's doing so much hard work, and he's here to tell you all about it. So let's give Eduardo a warm welcome today to One Life L.A. Eduardo. It's all yours.
Thank you.
Well, thank